I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be why women don't want control. Well, one thing I know for sure, and you can ask women this yourself, one thing that drives them bananas about a man more than anything is a guy that can't fucking make a decision. Or like a guy that's, instead of saying, hey, would you like to go have sushi Friday night, 8 o'clock? Are you interested? Instead he goes, well, what would you like to do? When would you like to go out? And she'll say, oh, I don't know. What would you like to do? Because they want you to make the decision. Because women want to go out on a date and just show up, have a good time, look hot, look amazing, and be entertained. So hopefully a fun-filled romantic opportunity for sex to happen can slowly unfold throughout the evening. I get an email here from a reader who apparently found out about me on YouTube. Well, I guess he came across some of my YouTube videos. So he's got a little bit of a long email here, so I'm going to just jump right in because he brings up a lot of good things. And he says, I stumbled across your videos and your website the other day while searching for inspiration from clips from the romantic movies, no doubt. That's how deep I was in. Over the past 2 days, I've watched many of them and read your book, and you really helped me snap out of it, and I appreciate it. It's been a slow year girl-wise because I started my own business last year, and it ate away at all my time and money. Now things are settled, but I'm rusty. I started talking to a girl at a party of a mutual friend several months ago. Now at the time I was too busy to date, so when I didn't get the sense that I would go home with her that night, I just said goodnight and didn't ask for her number. A couple weeks later, our mutual friend told me that she had been asking about me, and I said, sure, set it up. So a couple weeks after that, at our mutual friend's party, we met, we clicked, and then we left early at the party to our own adventure and had a great little makeout party. Awesome. It's fun how that just happens. And you notice that the chick, she's the one that made the first move, basically. And that's the way women are. They're aggressive. They'll go out of their way to get your attention when you're busy, you're focused on your purpose and your life. You know, sometimes you're just not really even thinking about it. You know, especially if you're busy and you talk to women all the time, it's not really a big deal because sometimes you're just focused on what you're doing and you just get lost and you never think about asking for a number or anything like that. And then this thing comes along and she tells a friend, I've had many situations, and that's why I focus so much on you being successful as a man, because the more successful you become as a man, women hear about you. They find out about you through your mutual friends or people that know about you, and they'll come and fucking hunt your ass down and track you down and put themselves into your orbit so you can make something happen. It's amazing like that. It's just so counterintuitive to most of the guys that are just finding out about this stuff for the first time. Especially like what I love about coaching guys is when the stuff that I talk about starts to happen, they're like, I'm not fucking doing anything. This is ridiculous. They just show up and they start calling me and texting me, and it's great. And so he says we clicked, and then obviously they went on their little makeout party, and he says I didn't even get her number. I gave her mine though, and she texted me the next day saying how much fun she had. I made a definite date with her, and we went out for a coffee date at 6 that ended at 3 a.m. Awesome. I love how you gave her number out, and then she called you. And that's so counterintuitive. Guys think, that's impossible. I'm supposed to be the aggressor. I'm supposed to be the one that initiates it. And what women will usually do is they'll just call you, hey, I'm just calling to tell you what a great time I had last night, or how much fun I had chatting with you. Most women won't, but unless they have like super ultra high interest in you, like 80-90%, where you just, whatever reason, you push their buttons, then they might come right out and ask you out. I mean, the more confident she is, the more hot she is, and the more success she has, when she sees an alpha male come along, because they're so rare in this world. I mean, only 3 out of 100 guys really get it, and out of every 3 out of 100 guys that get it, doesn't mean that she's going to be physically attracted and connect with that particular guy. And so when you focus on being your best personally, and a woman comes along who's also a super alpha female, she's going to recognize you as the catch that you are, because you're going to be rare, and she's going to bust her ass to make sure she gets you all to herself. And that's what's so beautiful about this. Just by really focusing on being your best as a man, you become sexually attractive to women, and then they'll be the ones that'll initiate contact your friends, say, hey, I really like that guy. can you arrange us getting together? I mean, it's just awesome, and women love conspiring about stuff like that to get you all of themselves. So he says, the first 5 dates, I did more right than wrong. She definitely matched the high interest level requirements, and we were having a lot of fun. The next 5 dates, I started screwing up. I moved too fast, talked too much, confided too much, definitely lost my masculinity. She didn't back up, though, and I was pretty convinced a relationship was going to start. And I'd say that's the way you're thinking relationship, and that's not the man's job. The man's job is simply to create a fun-filled romantic opportunity for sex to happen. And when you do that over and over, and you have great sex, great romance, and she just has an absolute blast with you, over a couple of months, she's going to fall in love with you, and then once she falls in love with you, she's going to pretty much make it clear that she wants you all to herself, and then you need to get rid of all the other women in your life. And then you get to decide whether you either want to go along with that, or you say, you know what, I want to continue. I'm not ready to settle down yet. Let's just, just play it cool. Don't complicate things. That's the kind of thing a lot of women say to guys, don't complicate things. And you're the one that gets to decide where it goes or how serious it gets, and you go at your own pace. So we ended up in bed twice, but no sex went down, no reciprocation, kind of flat. And I would say if you went out on 10 different dates with this woman, you were in bed twice, then obviously there were things that you were doing that was, just like you said, the last 5 you were turning her off, but by the second or third date, you guys should have been sleeping together. So when she offered to cook me dinner for our 10th date, I really blew it by asking what was going on. And that's terrible. You're basically like, hey, where are we at? Now, guys that are successful women, they know where they stand with women. And usually they're not trying to get into a relationship. If anything, it's usually, especially when you look at the older movies, it was always the guys just, trying to get away. They always were the ones that had the commitment issues. And that's because women, that's what they want. When they see a guy that they like and they feel he's the right guy for them, they want to nest and they want to get y'all to themselves. But it's not what you see in today's media. You see all this beta male fucking bullshit, where these feminized pussy-ass fucking men just drool all over themselves chasing women, putting them onto a pedestal. And of course, on TV and in the movies, it shows that weak-ass fucking behavior works, when in reality, it's just going to turn them off because you're acting like a woman, basically. And a woman wants a guy that's a man. So he said, we talked about it, and then she says she was in a bad place, and then I don't know you well enough. That's just total BS excuse. And basically what she's communicating to you is that, hey, you're rushing me. You're trying to make me do something I'm not comfortable with. Therefore, let's just be friends. I should point out that she's in a bad place. And it's totally fucking irrelevant, to be honest with you, dude. She works in child protection services and was in the middle of a nasty trial for one of her clients. But I don't buy that didn't know me well enough. See, smart. Your intuition was telling you that was fucking bullshit. And you should always learn to listen to that little voice. Your feelings are your truth. Anyways, our next date, I told her, was looking for a romantic relationship. Bad way to go. Again, you're acting like a woman there. And I wasn't interested in being friends, so we shouldn't see each other anymore. Then several days later, she texted me saying that she was disappointed we couldn't hang out anymore. But I would say it was a good thing for you to say, I'm not interested in being friends, but the relationship thing, it's just, the way to approach that is just, I want to hang out and have a good time and see what happens, but I'm interested in you romantically. I'm not looking for a relationship. That's what you should have said. I'm not looking for a relationship, but I'm also not interested in being your male girlfriend or your buddy or your little bitch or your little butler who waits on you hand and foot. It's like, I like you, I want you, but if you're telling me we can only be friends, then, hey, give me a call if you change your mind. And then you walk away. So here's the thing. He says, then several days later, she texted me saying that she was disappointed we couldn't hang out anymore, but that she still reiterates that she's only willing to be friends. And then he says, I took the bait, and without giving all the details, we've been hanging out ever since. And so basically what happened was you said, you stood up for yourself, and you said, I don't want this. And then so she tested you and said, really? And you went, no, I'm sorry, Your Highness. I'll go ahead and go along with just being your buddy and your friend and your male girlfriend, and I'll mow your lawn for you, and I'll fix your car, and I'll pick up your dry cleaning, and I'll fix your leaky gutters and your roof and whatever else you need. And hopefully someday you'll fall in love with me, because I see it in all the TV shows and on the movies, and they show that all that beta male activity actually works. So I'm gonna try to do that. And again, so women will have to test your strength. And so you basically said, this is who I am, this is what I want. And she says, really? And you went, oh, I'm sorry. And so you just confirmed to her that you were weak, and so therefore she keeps you in friend zone, and that's why nothing changes. So he says he doesn't think he blew it 100%, but every time he goes out with her, he still kisses her on the lips. But he says the last time we hung out, we had fun, we kissed as usual, but afterwards I felt weird. I realized I was totally emasculated. She called all the shots, controlled the whole thing. So I looked for answers, found your stuff, and immediately deleted her contact info. It's time to take 2 huge steps back. She texted me on Friday night on her way out of town, and what felt like a feeler to see what I was up to. I ignored it and just deleted the text. And what I always say is, like, especially when a woman's putting you in friend zone and she calls you on a Friday night just to see what you're doing, hey, you can talk to my fucking voicemail. And I'll return that next day. So it's like if they call you after 7, you return the call the next day. And if she asks you, say, oh, yeah, I was out with a friend. And when you say I was out with a friend, she's going to assume it's another chick. But what I would do with this girl going forward, the only way that you should handle things from her is that you're going to give her the same response every time. Is because she put you in friend zone, and if you said that that's not what you want, and she tested you on that, and then you fucking caved, and you went along with it for I don't know how many months this has been going on for. But now that you've walked away, and you manned up, you got my book, you got my material, she's still texting you, so you still may have a chance. And so here's the deal. Say next time she texts you on Friday night, I mean, you did the perfect thing. You didn't respond. And so more than likely at some point, I would have texted her back the next day or maybe the following Monday or something like that because, she was going out of town, or you just, text her the next Saturday and say, oh, I had a great time last night. Text me when you're back in town and you can bring over a bottle of wine and tell me all about your trip or whatever and seduce me. With a smiley face, wink, and then send shit like that back. Because in your mind, you're only going to see it your way and what you want. And when she shows up, you're basically setting the tone. This is what I want. And she can either say, yes, I'm into that, or no thanks. Then you say, hey, give me a call if you change your mind. You got to leave the door open. Let her come back that way. So here's what you do. Next time you hear from her, say she called, 2 weeks go by, you don't hear from her. That may happen because she's probably going to test you even more because you fucked up so many times in the past. But the good news is she's still calling you, at least at this point. And so when you do text her back, say like 2 weeks go by, she texts you on another Friday night, you wait till the next day, hey, I got your message, I was out with a friend last night, hope you're doing well. And then just send that. And then see if she sends something back. And if she sends like 3 or 4 texts back and forth, when you get the 4th text, just say, so I suppose you want to get together, ? And send that and see what she says. And if she says, yeah, I'd like to, just say, great. And then here's how you respond. You say, drinks, my place. What you say next is, when she says yes, then you say, okay, well, what nights are you free? And she say, well, I'm free Tuesday and Wednesday. Say, how about drinks, my place, Wednesday night, 8 p.m., ? And then also, at the end, put your address and send it. And see what she says. And she's either going to say yes and agree to that, or she's going to say no. And if she tries to change the plans and say, let's meet somewhere out, let's go to dinner or whatever, just say, you know what, I'm just I've had a busy week, I'm really just in the mood to chill, and so if you don't want to get together and do that, then let's just do it some other time. And just leave it at that. Because I wouldn't go out and waste any more fucking money on this chick. You've taken her out enough times, and so the bottom line is she needs to come over to your place, hang out, make dinner together, and you can seduce her. I mean, that's the bottom line way you need to handle it. When you hear from her, just have her come over, tell her to bring a bottle of wine, make dinner together, talk, chat, make sure she's doing 70-80% of the talking by asking questions. And at some point, just say, I think you need to get it over with and come over and fucking kiss me. And if she's like, not into being affectionate or whatever, just say, hey, I'm kind of tired. I think I'm going to go to bed. So, I'm going to have to say goodnight, and walk her to the door and say, thanks for coming over. And then same thing, let her fucking leave. More than likely, if she comes over to your place at that point, then you guys are going to be sleeping together. So that's the best way to handle it. But you always got to give her the same thing every time. And she may take 2 or 3 attempts to try to get you to change your mind. But as long as you don't go along with what she wants and you stick to what you want and what you state your purpose is, eventually she'll throw in the towel, submit, and seduce you.